Hey beautiful! Today, you and Queen Zani will talk about everything we can expect in version 3.3. So first, the banners. In Phase 1, we're most likely getting Hiyuki, Mornye, and Uno. Then in Phase 2, we should see Denia, Chisa, and Frolova. Pretty stacked lineup overall, but the real highlights here are definitely Hiyuki and Denia. Let's start with Hiyuki, because her playstyle is actually really fun once you understand it. She has two forms, and her entire kit revolves around switching between them smoothly. When you first start playing her, you're in her normal state, and everything feels pretty simple. You're just using basic attacks and your skill like usual. While doing this, you build up a resource called Mind. It happens naturally, so you don't really have to think too hard about it. Once that Mind bar is full, your heavy attack changes into something called Frost Cluster. You fire off a few shots, and this basically sets up her transformation. After that, you use her Liberation, and she switches into her second form, which is where she really starts to shine. In this form, her attacks feel faster, hit more times, and just overall do way more damage. As you keep attacking, she builds another resource called Chill, and when that starts filling up, she begins doing these really cool dash slashes called Ai attacks. They happen naturally as part of her flow, so you'll just notice her suddenly dashing around and hitting harder. It feels very smooth and satisfying. She also has a counter mechanic here, where if you time her charged attack while getting hit, she completely negates the damage and freezes enemies. It's a nice bonus, but you don't have to rely on it if you don't want to. As you keep going, everything builds toward her finisher, Returning Blade. When you hold her Liberation, time slows down, and when you release it, she deals a huge burst of damage. The more you've built up before using it, the stronger it hits. After that, she goes back to her normal state, and you just repeat the same cycle again. So overall, she's very consistent. Build up in the first form, switch into the second to deal most of your damage, then finish strong and reset. She also buffs ice-related effects, which makes her really good with other Glacio characters. Now moving on to Denia, she also has two forms, but her gameplay feels a bit more like a clean loop. She starts in her setting form, where her main job is just to build resources called void particles. You do this by attacking and using her skill, so again, nothing too complicated. This is more of her setup phase, not where her main damage comes from. Sometimes she also gets dark cores, which boost certain abilities, but they come naturally, so you don't need to focus on them too much. Once you're ready, you use her ultimate, which buffs her attack and switches her into Disillusionment form. This is where she actually starts doing big damage. In this form, her attacks consume the void particles she built earlier, and when they get consumed, her attacks hit much harder and count as ultimate damage. While all this is happening, she's also building another resource called Slag. When that fills up, she can use her ultimate again for a big burst hit, and then she goes right back to her setting form. And that's basically her entire loop. Build, switch, spend, burst, and repeat. It's simple, but really effective. Aside from the characters, version 3.3 is bringing quite a bit of new content too. We're getting a new tactical hologram called Sigilum, along with two new echo sets that are likely designed with Hiyuki and Denia in mind. Wishes of Quiet Snowfall focuses on boosting Glacio damage and giving extra bonuses after using Liberation or outro skills, while the Reel of Spliced Memories increases overall attack and improves team performance when certain effects are triggered. We're also getting a winter-themed skin for Mornye, which should look really nice, plus a brand new map and story expansion to explore. And honestly, one of the biggest highlights in this update is the quality of life improvements. The game is getting a full UI overhaul, with cleaner menus, better button layouts, and just a much smoother overall feel. It's the kind of change that makes everything feel fresh again. There are also some smart system updates, like better resource management, where the game only keeps what you need based on your progress, and you can re-download anything, anytime. On top of that, Characters with multiple resonance modes will be able to switch between them during battle, which is actually a huge upgrade in terms of flexibility. And lastly, this is still kind of a maybe, but there's a chance we might get a flying ability for the bike, which would honestly be so cool. So yeah, that's everything for version 3.3. If you made it all the way to the end, you're actually a legend.